welcome to the next session on operations research. In this session, we are going to discuss about the Big M method, which is used for solving the LPB problems. The Big M method is another approach used in linear programming to handle constraints, particularly when dealing with artificial variables and constraints that may not initially have a feasible solution. It is an alternative to the two-phase method and is applied in the context of the simplex method. Key idea of the Big M method. The Big M method introduces a large constant denoted as m into the objective function to penalize artificial variables. The goal is to force these artificial variables out of the basis and remove them from the solution, assuming they should not be part of an optimal solution. So as you can see here, Big M method is used for solving the linear programming problem. We can use it instead of the two-phase method. This is used for removing the artificial variable, and here also in this method we are going to use artificial variable whenever required. This is a form of simplex method. So the technique of solving the numerical will be similar to the simplex method. Steps of the Big M method. First, we are going to formulate the problem, write the linear problem in standard form, introducing slack or surplus variables to convert inequalities to equalities. If an equality constraint or greater than or equal to constraint requires the introduction of an artificial variable, because there is no obvious initial basic feasible solution, you add an artificial variable to the system. So suppose if you have an equation like this, 3x1 plus 2x2 is greater than or equal to 10, or you have something like 7x1 plus 8x2 is equal to 9. So in these two cases, we generally use the artificial variable. So we will write this as 3x1 plus 2x2. Since this is greater, I am going to remove the surplus variable, and also I am going to add an artificial variable, say a1. The reason is when I say this is non-basic variable and these two are 0, there are two variables that remain. If I assume a1 as 0, or when I don't write a1, what happens is s1 will take value minus 10. This will violate the non-negativity constraint that these variables should be greater than or equal to 0. So what we do is, along with x1 and x2, we also assume s1 as 0, and then we get the value of a1 as 10. So that is the reason why we introduce artificial variable into the system. Now here in the second case, suppose if I have 7x1 plus 8x2, since both the sides are equal, I don't have to add anything on both the sides. I don't have to add surplus variable or slack variable. But what we can add is something which is called as artificial variable. So on the left side, we are going to add artificial variable a2. Now again, if I assume x1 and x2 as 0, I get the value of a2 as 9. This is to get the initial basic feasible solution by assuming some variables as non-basic and certain as the basic variable, which enter into the solution and then help you solve the problem. So this is what is given over here. That is how you formulate the problem. Next is objective function adjustment. Modify the objective function by adding a term involving the artificial variables multiplied by the large positive constant m. So in this one, suppose if I assume that the equation for z is given as 3x1 plus 5x2. So what we should do is, we should add over here the artificial variable a1 and a2, but along with them we need to multiply large variables. They are called as penalty variables, and that is what is added in the equation. For a maximization problem, the objective function would penalize artificial variables by subtracting m times the artificial variable. For a minimization problem, you add m times the artificial variable to the objective function. So as you can see here, since I have used the positive sign, it would mean that the problem should be of minimization type. So for minimization, you add, and suppose if you had the same problem for maximization type, then you would have written it this way. So for maximization, subtract, and for minimization, you are going to add these variables in the objective function in this fashion. The aim is to drive the artificial variables to 0 because of the penalty introduced by M. This pushes the solution away from relying on these artificial variables. So we want to remove them, hence we are using these kind of penalty. Third step is apply the simplex method. Use the simplex algorithm to solve the problem as usual. If the artificial variables end up being 0 in the final solution, it indicates that a feasible solution to the original problem has been found. If any artificial variable remains non-zero in the optimal solution, it indicates that the original problem is infeasible. So this is something which we have done in the two-phase method also. I have shown you two numericals where the artificial variable was not being driven out, hence the solution was infeasible. So we'll take an example. Consider a linear program. Maximize z is 3x1 plus 2x2. Subject to these two constraints, x1 plus x2 greater than equal to 4 and x1 plus 2x2 greater than equal to 6, x1 and x2 are greater than equal to 0. After introducing the surplus variables and artificial variables, let's call them a1 and a2, that is the artificial variable here. The modified objective function for maximization problem might look like this. As I told you, in these two problems, since they are of greater than equal to sign, so there will be two artificial variables. So when it is maximized, you have to write minus m into a1 minus m into a2. Now here in this slide I have used small a1 a2, but generally when I am going to solve the numerical, I am going to use capital A1 and capital A2 over here. Then the simplex method is applied, penalizing the presence of the artificial variables due to the large negative value of m. Advantages and drawbacks of this method. Advantages: the big M method combines finding a feasible solution and optimizing the objective function in a single phase rather than the two phases required by the two-phase method. So this is a very big advantage, that we are going to find the feasible solution only in a single phase. We don't have to go for two phases like in the two-phase method. Drawbacks: the choice of M must be sufficiently large to ensure the artificial variables are driven to 0. However, if M is too large, it can lead to numerical instability or inaccuracies in the computation. So we need to assume larger values of M. I'll show you when we solve the numericals. But again, if you assume them too large, then you will lead to instability or inaccuracy in the problem. Both the big M and the two-phase serve to handle situations where there is no obvious initial feasible solution for the simplex algorithm to start from. So if you have observed, if I have a greater than equal to or an equal to sign, then in that case finding an initial basic feasible solution becomes difficult because there is only surplus variable and they turn out to be negative as I showed you. Hence, for solving them, we introduce artificial variables and try to find the solution. So with this, I end the session on theory of big M method and how to solve the problems using this method. In the next session, we will discuss numericals based on this topic. If you have any doubts, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.